I've been collecting these photos for years. Not because they're worth anything, but because every single one has a story. A moment that almost got lost to time. Some of the people in these pictures are gone now, but for a few minutes, we can bring them back. We can remember what it felt like to be young, to turn up the volume, and to believe that rock and roll would last forever. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in 1977. When they toured England, the press lumped them in with the new wave and punk bands. But their classic American rock was so tight and powerful, they ended up blowing their punk rock opening acts away. The Who, 1967, the absolute peak of mod. Pete Townshend's iconic Union Jack jacket wasn't a custom stage costume. He bought it off the rack. It became the ultimate symbol of pop art, swinging London, and the band's explosive identity. The Golden God in His Temple. Robert Plant at Earl's Court, 1975. These legendary homecoming shows were a massive spectacle and were among the first ever to use giant video screens to broadcast the biggest band in the world to the rafters. This is Boz Scaggs, the blues man, just 2 years before he conquered the world. For his breakout album, Silk Degrees, he hired a band of unknown session players who perfectly crafted his new sound. That legendary band would later become Toto. Peter Frampton in 1979, taking a quiet moment after a whirlwind of superstardom. This was a challenging period for him, following the massive pressure of Frampton Comes Alive and recovering from injuries sustained in a serious car accident the year before. Three Kings at the 1988 Hall of Fame. That's Bob Dylan watching as Bruce Springsteen inducts him. Springsteen famously said, "Bob freed your mind the way Elvis freed your body." A powerful tribute from one generation's voice to another. The Undisputed Kings of Soft Rock, 1972. While Bread's music was famously smooth and romantic, the band itself was falling apart. Creative tensions were so bad that they would break up at the absolute height of their fame just a year later. A rare moment of rest for rock's ultimate road warrior. That's a Sony Walkman in Bob Seger's hand. He would listen to bootlegs of the previous night's show, constantly critiquing and perfecting one of the greatest live acts in history. R.E.M. in 1994, about to release their loud rock album, Monster. The tour that followed was notoriously difficult. 3 of the 4 members faced serious health challenges on the road, forcing the band to pause and regroup before continuing. The engine of Led Zeppelin, John Bonham, in a rare, quiet moment. His bandmates said this was the real Bonzo, a quiet family man. But after a few pints, the wild, legendary character they all called the Beast would come out to play. Two titans at the peak of their powers. Jimi Hendrix was a passionate amateur filmmaker, and here he captures a rare, candid moment with Janis Joplin backstage in San Francisco. It's a beautiful glimpse of 2 legends preserved by one another for history. Led Zeppelin conquering Madison Square Garden in 1977. They were still the undisputed kings of rock, but this would be their last stand in America. The tour was cut short by an unexpected family crisis that shook Robert Plant and nearly ended the band. two of the biggest frontmen in London, 1968. This was backstage at the Stones' legendary rock and roll circus. The Who's performance that day was so powerful, Jagger allegedly shelved the film for 28 years because they had upstaged his band. The torch is passed. A young Bruce Springsteen meets his idol, Bob Dylan, backstage in 1975. Bruce, whose album Born to Run was exploding, was so nervous and starstruck, he was reportedly almost completely tongue-tied during the historic meeting. The engine room of the Rolling Stones. Bill Wyman and Charlie Watts were famously the quiet ones, the steady anchor to all the madness. On tour, they would often room together just to get away from the party and have a normal conversation. The original bad boys of the Stones, 1964. During this very first American tour, in a nearby Florida hotel room, Keith Richards would famously wake up in the middle of the night with the riff for Satisfaction fully formed in his head. Two generations of bluesmen. Long before this 1988 photo, the Stones hired a then unknown Stevie Ray Vaughan to play a private party in '82. They were so blown away by his talent, they immediately tried to sign him to their own label. Two titans of British music, backstage at Live Aid in 1985. While friends, they were also lifelong rivals. Bowie started his first band after seeing McCartney play, and Paul later admitted he was always trying to one-up Bowie's latest album. Talk about a clash of titans. Initially, the Beatles weren't keen on meeting the young contender, then known as Cassius Clay, and he didn't hold back, teasing them for being soft compared to a fighter. Despite the reluctance, this photo op between the Fab Four and the future champ turned into one of the most defining images of the '60s. Two legends, one frame. A rare look at the man under the hat. That iconic top hat wasn't part of a master plan. In 1985, right before a gig, a broke Slash shoplifted it from a store on Melrose. He wore it on stage that night, and a legend was born.